Go outside tonight. Look up at the stars. You think you are looking at an endless empty void, dead rocks, burning gas, infinite nothingness. But what if you aren't looking at a place at all? What if you are looking at a living organ? Most people assume the cosmos is a cold, mechanical machine, a random explosion of physics that accidentally resulted in us. But science is starting to suggest something entirely different, something that borders on the impossible. The universe doesn't look like a machine. It looks exactly like a mind. And the biological implications of this are terrifying. In 2020, an astrophysicist named Franco Vazza and a neurosurgeon named Alberto Feletti decided to run an experiment. They took the two most complex systems known to human science, the neural network of the human brain and the cosmic web of the observable universe. They didn't just put two pictures side by side to see if they looked similar. They ran the mathematical modeling. They analyzed the structural physics. The human brain has roughly 86 billion neurons. The observable universe has roughly 100 billion galaxies. In your brain, neurons are connected by long filaments called axons, forming a massive tangled web. In the universe, galaxies are connected by massive filaments of dark matter, forming a cosmic web that looks exactly the same. But it wasn't just the shape that matched. It was the math. The researchers looked at the spectral density, the way nodes connect, the way information networks are built. They found that the human brain and the cosmic web are more similar to each other than the human brain is to any other biological part of the human body. And then they found the ratio. In the human brain, neurons only make up about 30% of the total mass. The other 70% is just water, a passive material that allows the network to exist. In the universe, galaxies and visible matter only make up about 30% of the mass. The other 70% is dark energy, an invisible, passive material that allows the network to exist. It is a perfect, mirrored fractal, the exact same architecture repeated at the microscopic scale of your skull and the macroscopic scale of infinity. But this is where the science crosses into something deeply unsettling. If the physical structure of the universe is identical to a human brain, does it act like one? Can a network of galaxies hold a memory? Can it process information? Is the universe thinking? For decades, physicists have wrestled with a thermodynamic nightmare known as the Boltzmann Brain Paradox. The laws of physics state that everything in the universe is moving toward chaos, entropy. For billions of atoms to come together to perfectly form the Earth, evolution, and you, sitting here watching this video, requires an astronomical amount of organized energy. Statistically, the math doesn't make sense. Physicist Ludwig Boltzmann realized it is actually mathematically more probable for a single, fully formed conscious brain to randomly materialize out of the chaotic void of space for a fraction of a second than it is for our entire structured universe to actually exist. If you trust the cold, hard mathematics of probability, you shouldn't be here. The universe shouldn't be here. The only thing that should exist is a spontaneous floating mind, unless the universe itself is the mind. Philosophers and quantum physicists are increasingly turning to a theory called panpsychism. It is the idea that consciousness is not a biological accident. It is not something that randomly sparked inside the heads of hairless apes on a floating rock. Panpsychism suggests that consciousness is a fundamental property of physics, just like gravity, just like mass, just like electromagnetism. If you put enough mass together, you get gravity. If you put enough complex network nodes together, you get a thought. We assume that because galaxies are millions of light years apart, they couldn't possibly communicate. The delay would be too long. A single thought in a cosmic brain would take billions of years to fire. But time is relative. To a mayfly that only lives for 24 hours, the movement of a human seems frozen in time. To a universe that lives for trillions of years, a thought that takes a billion years to travel across a dark matter filament is just a passing second. You look at the night sky and see slow, dead silence, but you might just be standing inside a single synapse watching it fire in extremely slow motion. Think about what this actually means for you. We spend our entire lives feeling small. We look at the endless, expanding dark and we feel completely insignificant. An accident of biology trapped on a pale blue dot, disconnected from the rest of the cold, dead cosmos. But if the universe is a giant structural brain, then you are not separate from it. You are a network of atoms inside a network of neurons, inside a network of galaxies. You are the exact same pattern echoing endlessly upward. You are not just living in the universe, you are of it. You are the universe's way of opening its eyes. When you sit in the dark and you look up at the stars and you wonder what is out there, that isn't just human curiosity.